Know that he can deliver a fast lap when he wants to. The KTMs have been finding speed gradually as things move on. The two Pramac Ducati boys as well, Bagnaia and Miller, Rabat, Petrucci, Lecuona, Bradle and Smith. Vital session coming up, just taken an upward step in that T4 session, including this man, Brad Binder.
This Q1 session is very much involved in this opening session. Who will find a way through that decisive second qualifying session?
Well, if Dovi is fighting for a podium here tomorrow, and better still a win,
he knows that. He saw the consequences of a poor qualifying in Barcelona when he was taken out in a second corner incident.
Binder, number 33, just up ahead of fellow rookie Iker Lecuona. Lecuona's found the going. Here is Dovi. Got Danilo Petrucci, the French Grand Prix race winner, just behind him on circuit. Has been written off and has come back fighting.
2020, where kind of previous history and what we expected has been quickly chucked out of the window. I mean, with Marc Marquez absent, felt that, well, the Ducati works well here, and Andrea Dovizioso, it's a circuit that he's excelled at over the last couple of years. So leading Petrucci.
Yeah, it was a bit like that as well in Brno, wasn't it? We went into Brno thinking, well, the flying lap's coming through now. Already you can see that Petrucci's closed that gap.
Yeah, for a good chunk of that French Grand Prix last weekend, these two men were vying for the victory in the rain conditions. At the end of it, they went the way. Petrucci goes through at the reverse corkscrew.
Petrucci also then sits up and rolls out of it. Further back, sitting up and out of the way is Brad Binder.
Yeah, didn't really expect any fireworks from Andrea Dovizioso. Time attack mode on that on that combination.
Echoes on medium front, soft rear.
Okay, well, it looks like there's a mistake with our tyre graphic then.
The graphic's gone.
Much as Bradley Smith then sets the pace. A 48.9 from the Aprilia rider.
Yeah, still feeling pretty uncomfortable as he muscles his way around this fast and flowing Aragon circuit. Oliveira gets in hot into the first corner.
Just got into could still be an Aprilia rider. This time next year, the hearing for Aprilia and Andrea Iannone set to go on.
Here come Dovizioso and Petrucci then to line, the two factory Ducati men, and they go in for the top two places. So far, so good. Bagnaia has really suffered so far here this weekend. He's been quite comfortably the slowest on the quartet.
Goes second as well to pump Bagnaia out for the time being. So it's Miller and Binder. 47.7 is the fastest we've seen so far of the weekend, set by mine to find some grip there downhill out of turn 10.
Splash and dash then for Miguel, the more fuel than you need to when you're in time attack mode. Nothing going on this current lap then for the second.
That's possible. In fact, he's found another 10th there in sector 3. So Petrucci rightly stays out and across the line. Petrucci, oh, he doesn't manage it. A 48.5 for him then. That was 8
for Sponsorama Racing. Zarco number 5 goes P5. 48.630 from him.
So everyone's gone out for their first runs. Miller and Binder right now would go through. Bagnaia's in third. Then it's Petrucci, Zarco, Dovi.
Yeah, so Petrucci ready to go, raring to go. Of course, last weekend in Le Mans on the front row for the third successive year. There's something about Le Mans and Danilo Petrucci, so he's got his hands full trying to beat that 148.084 set by Jack Miller.
Bike shaking its head a touch, and he's lost another few tenths on the fastest lap from Miller, but
in the tyres, the next lap will be all important for him, you feel. Decent first sector that from Bradley Smith on the fan.
Yeah, it's all gone in sector 2 for the Aprilia rider.
Dovizioso's close. We'll keep an eye on Binder's 48.478. That's Dovizioso's initial target. Over the line he goes, he's gone 48.290. At this stage, there are still a couple of, 2.5 minutes remaining, but
Dovi coming in here from Brad Binder though, as he now tries to respond and retaliate and push his way back into the top 2 spots. His engine has got more power, it's got better acceleration. So what about Binder? Petrucci also on a fast lap. At the top of the timesheets here, the South African
the Renault winner, a double Moto2 winner here in Aragon, out of the final course, the best time of the weekend so far.
They like that, but is it good enough? Because both of the factory Ducati boys are on one here. Off right now is Dovi, but sector 3 and 4 is strong for Ducati, and both Dovi and Petrucci could be going P1 and 2 here.
Well, this is
Miller's on another good lap as well. Across the line we go. There's still a minute left, and Dovi does go fastest, and again it's a 47.6. That's the fastest time.
Looking up towards the screens, and they'll see this man Jack Miller up by just 9,000ths of a second. Fine margins split on the KTM.
It's gone for Dovi, so it's an anxious wait for Dovi. It's all eyes on Jack Miller.
Is Miller about to break Dovi's heart here? Over the line he comes. Petrucci leads the way. Miller's done it. He's pinched it from Dovizioso.
Through. Ikalekawona had a good effort. Fifth for him. Miguel Oliveira's teammate then. He's out-qualified him. But the big news is then, and in sector 1, he's down at turn 12. It's just gone way too hot in there, and that's...
At one point, Tex Geiser and co there in the middle of your picture, former 125cc rider back in the good old days, of course. The likes of Bagnaia and Zarco got left. Probably nothing that's going to trouble the top 2 places, but there's important grids.
Good final couple of sectors. This might get worse for Dovi as yet. Bagnaia doesn't look like...
Yeah, very poor indeed. And look at that.
Oh, Dovi's fuming. Absolutely fuming. And that is something that you do not see. That's a collector's item.
Petrucci was behind him on both occasions. Petrucci set the slightly faster lap time. Well, Petrucci. Is that what's... So, fastest lap of that opening qualifying session goes to Danilo Petrucci at 1:47.605. 2 Ducatis. Binder 4th ahead of Ikalekawona. Johan Zarco 6th. He was 1 place ahead of Pecco Bagnaia. He's going to start 17th.
It's qualifying 2 in Motorland. He's got to stretch his body to the maximum, especially after that huge crash earlier on.
He has indeed. A big crash at turn 14 for Fabio Quartararo.
He's arguably in a better position than this man right now. Our thoughts with Valentino Rossi. Hope you're getting better, but we know in race trim he's got the speed. We know at the end of races they can keep their tyres better than anyone else.
Absolutely brilliant performance in Le Mans, 18th to 2nd place. Awesome. First time he's been in Q2 this season. He's not qualified higher than so. He's just had a superb FP4 session. Nothing again wrong with his race pace. Second he was to
fighting it out then here in this session. Honda's looking strong as well. We just mentioned Alex Marquez, but leads the BMW M Awards for best qualifying of 2020 so far, just ahead of Maverick Vinales. For Maverick Vinales, +1 for Franco Morbidelli, and you would not rule it out, as Matt rightly said earlier on, having waited all that time in France. I was thinking back to Catalonia when Franco Morbidelli was on pole position. There's every chance he could
get temperature in that carbon disc. Here's your mixed entire location. Well, it's all going to be about soft tyres.
Alex Rins never had a pole position in MotoGP. There is the number 42. Joan Mir obviously never had a pole. He was in contention, probably and arguably should have been the race winner were it not for the red flag. That Cayoso.
Well, he's lost his temper, that's for sure, after a very interesting conclusion. Garage left a glove as a present for his somewhat bewildered crew. And that was the last we saw of Andrea Dovizioso this afternoon. What happened at the end of that Q1 session, Simon?
Yes, I hope you can hear us now with the bikes coming past. But David, great to see 2 Ducatis go through.
Good one to start things off, isn't it? A 47.657 then from Jack Miller. Vinales' first lap is a 40.
Picked himself up brilliantly after the disappointment of rare DNF in Le Mans last weekend, when he's shown great, relatively strong. Cal Crutchlow putting together another excellent lap as well. You can't keep the Brit down, can you? Here comes Morbidelli then. Is this about the width of a front tyre?
Amazing, isn't it? Good laps coming in there from Aleix Espargaro, Cal Crutchlow and Quartararo is for the time being. Aleix Espargaro on the Aprilia is on the front row, but that changes straight away. A 47.7 from Crutchlow. He plays
this would be unbelievable. Better. Quartararo, now look at this, he's half a second up through the first 3 sectors. He's had 9 Premier, not even that. Quartararo then comes to the line. Keep an eye on Jack Miller.
Oh, it's close.
No, Miller lost it. Miller lost it in that 2 sectors. He's deep into sector 3 right now, and he's close. He's down by just under half a tenth.
Yeah, he's got to try and do it on. In 16 we go, around turn 17. Now, last time he was a bit out of shape on the exit here. This looks a little bit better for him.
What a day it's been so far for Petronas Yamaha SRT. Have they got any fingernails left inside that Malaysia? Maverick Vinales, you can't rule him out. Potentially another Yamaha lockout of the front row of the grid. Good lap being put.
Vinales, he overshot on the brakes into turn 8. So in the first run, then it would be Mir 7th. Pol Espargaro 8th and Rins 9th, with Alex Marquez, Nakagami nudging himself
I think
onto that second row.
when you've seen his pace all weekend so far, particularly in that top 6, what a lap though by this man, Fabio Quartararo. It was only a few hours ago, he was in absolute agony.
In Pisano, second in Austria.
Fabio Quartararo then heads back out of the action. We always felt like after that he's passed it with flying colours. On pole with a 1:47.296. Franco Morbidelli, addition in 3 Grand Prix. And what about Alex Marquez? Well, whatever happens, this is going to be a personal best MotoGP qualifying for Marquez and Ryan.
A number of them heading out again then with the medium front, including Cal Crutchlow, Aleix Espargaro, Alex Marquez.
Came out of turn 2 on the gas. And that's going to cost him crucial rhythm to build up speed on that Juan Mir there. How hard he was pushing to get temperature in the tyres. That Suzuki squirming underneath Mir going into the first corner.
Juan Mir out shortly. 3.5 minutes left to qualifying here. Who will be on pole in Aragon?
Engaged in a real strong battle last year. It went the way of Miller late on. Vinales unable to respond against the Ducati speed on the backstroke.
It's a good first sector for Pol Espargaro as well on the Red Bull KTM. He's only 900ths down. 10th. Pol Espargaro has got his brother just up ahead of him on that fragment.
It's advantage Aleix on the Aprilia. 6, a couple of spots ahead of Pol. Here comes Maverick Vinales then, 296. Here comes the Top Gun though. Is he going top spot in this session? He is, 1:47, 1:25. Cycle. Sure, what has gone on here?
Cal Crutchlow's got his arm up. Is there something wrong on circuit? Here you're looking at Jack Miller. This lap won't go at the moment.
Another excellent lap being fired in here then from Maverick Vinales at the 5.3 kilometre track. He's going to attack hard now on the brakes downhill into turn 12. Lose a bit of time in that.
So he'll get one more lap. Last flying lap also coming for Quartararo. Morbidelli's having another charge at this as well. Now Morbidelli is now entering the 4th sector because he is the man who will be coming across the line shortly. And is he going to challenge for pole position? Franco Morbidelli coming over the line now. Does he go? 1:47, 1:25, 9 thousandths up he was through the 3rd sector, and he's found more time, just a smidgen. 1:40. Also up in sector 1 is his teammate Franco Morbidelli.
Sensational speed, commitment and bravery here this morning at turn 14, and he's still up. About halfway through the 3rd sector now, down the hill into turn 4, down this back straight. He's absolutely smashed the 3rd sector as well. Quartararo on course for a remarkable pole. Quartararo over the line. Does he get pole? Yes, he does. And that looks like it's it. That looks like it's taking it away from Frank. Final corner. Can Morbidelli at least get himself on that front row? Cal Crutchlow on the front row. What a job by the LCR Honda man. No more of Nakagami, Mir and Marquez, but they won't be good enough for that all-important top 3.
And Mir looks like at the moment he hangs on to 6, but it's all eyes on Nakagami here. Can Nakagami upset Juan Mir?
Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas last year. Brilliant performance by him, but what can you say about Fabio Quartararo? He dusts himself down and he takes down another pole position in MotoGP. Double figures now, front row with Cal Crutchlow. Couple of real heroic rides there, Quartararo and Crutchlow. We can go down to pit lane. Petronas Yamaha rest.
So pole is always impressive, but to do it when he had to hobble to the bike after that crash this morning.
Yes, of course. First and fourth, is a great position to start off tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, those final couple of corners, it was a bit of aero that was dangling down the side of Pol Espargaro after a tangle hitting the factory. What a performance, full of skill, full of courage by Fabio Quartararo, and a brilliant back to his peak physical best as well, is he, the Brit, and he's on the front row for the LCR Honda. Fabio Quartararo then, a brilliant, heroic pole position here in Motorland Aragon.